Ah, retirement. We spend decades dreaming about it, don't we? Sleeping in, traveling, finally learning to paint. But here's the twist. For so many of us, those golden years end up feeling, well, gold-plated instead of solid gold. Between grandkids' soccer games, doctor's appointments, and that ever-growing honey-do list, suddenly you're more stressed than you were at work. Sound familiar? Here's the truth. Retirement isn't about having all the time in the world. It's about making the time you have count. And today, we're diving into 4 simple secrets to help you reclaim your days, so you can actually enjoy that freedom you've earned. Yep, you heard me. That endless list of chores, errands, and shoulds? It's not a roadmap, it's a guilt trip. See, our brains trick us into thinking busy equals productive. But here's what my friend Carol taught me. After she retired, she filled every hour with tasks, convinced she'd finally get ahead. Know what happened? She ended up in the ER with exhaustion. Not exactly the retirement dream, right? Here's the fix. The rule of 3. Every morning, write down 3 things that'll make today feel like a win. Just 3. Maybe it's a walk with your spouse, a chapter of that novel you've been ignoring, or finally organizing the junk drawer. Everything else? Bonus points. This isn't about doing less. It's about prioritizing what truly fuels your joy. Because here's the magic. When you focus on meaning instead of busy, you'll find time expands, almost like it's grateful for the attention. Alright, let's keep this momentum going. You've mastered the art of choosing your top 3 wins and guarding your me time like a dragon with treasure. Now, let's dive into 2 more secrets that'll turn your golden years from overwhelmed to overflowing with joy. Ready? Retirement isn't a one-size-fits-all schedule. It's a rhythm, your rhythm. And the sooner you dance to it, the sweeter life gets. Let's talk about secret #3. Schedule you time like it's a doctor's appointment. Crazy, right? But think about it. You'd never skip a heart checkup. So why do we treat our sanity as optional? My dad, a retired mechanic, used to say, if it's not in the calendar, it doesn't exist. So he started blocking off 10 a.m. to noon every Tuesday for his woodworking shop. His rule? Unless the house is on fire, don't knock. And guess what? The world didn't end. His grandkids learned to respect Papa's workshop hours, and he finished that cedar chest he'd been dreaming about for years. Your turn. Grab your calendar, yes, the paper one or the one on your phone, and block off 1 hour this week that's just for you. Not for grocery shopping. Not for babysitting. For you. Maybe it's a solo coffee date, a yoga class, or sitting in the garden with absolutely no agenda. Protect that hour like it's a diamond, because it is. It's the foundation of a retirement that feels like yours. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. But what about everyone who needs me? Here's the thing. You can't pour from an empty cup. And when you're running on fumes, no one gets the best version of you. Not your family, not your friends, not even yourself. By claiming your time, you're not being selfish. You're being smart. You're teaching the people you love how to honor your needs, and giving them permission to do the same. These 2 secrets, focusing on 3 wins and guarding your time, aren't just about getting things done. They're about redesigning retirement from a season of have TOS to a season of get TOS. And trust me, the best is yet to come. Because you've earned this chapter. Let's make it unforgettable. Work with your body, not against it. Here's a confession. I used to force myself to wake up at 5 a.m. because that's what successful people do. Know what happened? I spent mornings groggy, chugging coffee, and resenting the sunrise. Sound familiar? Turns out, I'm a night owl. And that's okay. Your brain has peak hours, times when you're sharp, creative, or just plain human. My friend Bob, a retired teacher, realized his golden hours were between 2 p.m. and 4 p.m. So he stopped wasting mornings on tasks he hated and saved his energy for writing his memoir in the afternoon. Within months, he'd finished 3 chapters. Moral of the story? Stop fighting your natural flow. Try this. For 3 days, jot down when you feel most energized, foggy, or inspired. Schedule demanding tasks, like planning trips or learning new skills, during your peak windows. Save low-energy tasks, like folding laundry or watching TV, for your slump times. Your brain will thank you, and you'll get twice as done with half the effort. Let go of what no longer serves you. Repeat after me, I am retired. I am not a superhero. For decades, you've carried the weight of the world, raising kids, meeting deadlines, keeping the house spotless. But here's the truth, you don't have to do it all anymore. In fact, clinging to old roles is like wearing shoes 2 sizes too small. It'll only hurt. Take Linda, a former nurse. She spent her first year of retirement cleaning her house top to bottom every week, until her daughter asked, "Mom, why don't you hire help and finally take that pottery class?" Linda hesitated, until she realized, I'm trading hours of scrubbing floors for hours of creating beauty. Now, her home's a little dustier, but her heart's full of pride every time she gifts a handmade mug to her grandkids. Your action step. Make a not my job list. Tasks that drain your joy, meal prep, yard work, tech troubleshooting. Delegate, automate, or eliminate them. Hire a neighbor's team to mow the lawn. Use grocery delivery. Say no to obligations that feel like chores. Use that reclaimed time for what makes your soul hum, travel, hobbies, or simply breathing. You've earned the right to focus on what matters, not what's expected. Let's pause here. I know this might feel uncomfortable, like you're quitting or letting people down. But here's the flip side. When you let go of tasks that drain you, you create space for connection, creativity, and peace. And isn't that what retirement's really about? Close-up of the host's hands, holding a handwritten not my job list being torn in half. Host with a grin. Imagine a week where you're not exhausted by Friday, where you have energy for grandkids' giggles, sunset walks, or finally reading that stack of novels. That's the power of Secrets 3 and 4. They're not just time hacks, they're freedom hacks. But we're not done yet. The final piece of the puzzle? It's simpler than you think, and it's the glue that holds everything together. Hint, it's not about doing more. It's about being more. You've made it this far. Give yourself a pat on the back. Because here's the truth, retirement isn't about managing time. It's about reclaiming it. And now that we've uncovered those 4 secrets, let's tie them all together into something powerful, your legacy. Think about it. What do you want your grandchildren to remember about this chapter of your life? That you were always busy? Or that you showed them how to live with purpose, joy, and unshakable calm? Return to the host, placing the plant on a rustic wooden table. Host with conviction. Let's revisit those secrets one last time, not as rules, but as tools. The rule of 3 stops overwhelm in its tracks. Guarding you time teaches others to respect your worth. Working with your rhythm turns effort into ease. Letting go frees you to focus on what truly lights up your soul. But here's the secret behind the secrets. They're all about permission. Permission to say no. Permission to rest. Permission to put yourself first. Not out of selfishness, but because a life well lived is the greatest gift you can give your loved ones. Now, I want you to do something. Tonight, before bed, grab a notebook and answer this. What's one thing I'll stop doing to make space for what matters? Maybe it's finally hiring someone to mow the lawn. Or saying no to that committee that drains your energy. Then write this. What's one thing I'll start doing to feed my spirit? Maybe it's Tuesday morning birdwatching. Or finally writing those family stories. And if you're thinking, but what if I fail? Good. Failure means you're trying. My buddy Ed failed at meditation for weeks, until he realized he'd rather listen to jazz and daydream. Now, he calls it his creative recharge hour. That's the spirit. Retirement isn't a test, it's your playground. Your time is finite. But your joy? That's infinite. So go ahead, mess up, adjust, and try again. The goal isn't perfection. It's aliveness. Here's my challenge to you. For the next 7 days, practice one of these secrets. Just one. Then come back here and tell me how it went. Did your grandkids surprise you by respecting your me time? Did that morning walk spark a new idea? I want to hear it all. Drop your story in the comments. Let's build a community of golden year rebels, shall we? Hit subscribe if you're ready for more tools to own your best years. And remember, the world needs your wisdom, your laughter, and your fully lived life. Now go shine.